Alright, take two. So yeah, here at the 458. I've been messing around with it the last few days again. And I got the final swapped out at the moment. I got the NTE 236 removed, and I got a 2SC 2312 jammed down there. Just to see if it would make any difference or not. But basically what's going on here, we've got power, but it's acting kind of weird. Dead carrier 3 watts, shares that for 1 watt, and kind of goes up to wanders itself on up to 3 watts. But SSB, on the other hand, is completely out to lunch altogether. So we're on power, 200 watt scale, or 20 watt I should say. Test 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Put her back on AM. One, two. Put her, it's the getting mad hot over here on sideband. One, two, three, four, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 5. 1, 2. So we get 3 watts if I talk like that. If I whistle, she drops right down to 1. So, yeah. She's doing something. But, she's not doing it very well. So, there's no drive on sideband at all. There's hardly any drive at all. It kind of peaks and then it kind of flows downhill, the power. And when it's doing that, the heatsink over here, it gets mad hot. So in sideband, it's kind of weird what's going on. Oh, just give me a second. I'll get a diagram here to show you what I'm talking about here. Again, you're looking at the output stage of the 458. You get your pre-driver here, driver there, final here, and here. So what's going on here? The driver itself is producing lots of RF to the base of the final. But from the collector out to the antenna, what seems to be going on here, for whatever reason, I get a high RF level on the collector on this side of L30. And I get another, power increases on the other side of L28 here. But between L32 and L29, right on that X, power is dropping down to pretty much nothing. It's weird. So me and Ray was messing around last night, or I should say, I was messing around last night, and Ray was giving me a hand with it a little bit, and basically I thought, okay, maybe something in the meter circuitry here has kind of gone screwy. So I ended up disconnecting C167 and 168. two of these guys totally removed from the circuit. And even with these removed, there's still something here, like on this X, that's drawing the RF down to nothing. It's weird. There's nothing else physically connected here. Once these two capacitors here are removed, there's nothing else here to draw it down. So I was getting very little to no power on the radio. So then I decided, okay, well, I'll take the two capacitors out. So I left two of these trimmers out, and I put so I just tried experiment from the collector of the final to the input of L28. And when I jumped this here, with this tuning gap, the power to the antenna came back up a bit. Came up better than if this trimmer cap was out. The trimmer capacitor that I was using was this one right here, ceramic, and it actually helped with the power output of to the antenna by putting that cap there. But it's removed now, and I got the two capacitors put back in. The circuit is restored back to the way it was originally. So it's, it's the way it should be. Everything is soldered in there, so don't anybody lose their mind or get their pennies in a bunch or anything there. The radio was on at the time. A dummy load, 1 watt, 50 ohm, 1 watt, because that's pretty much all I was getting out of it. Less than 1 watt to begin with, like mere milliwatts. So at that time, 1 watt was fine. But yeah. So now when I key up, you can see what it's doing. It takes its time and moseys on up. And when I modulate, as you can see, power is dropping back quite a bit. Another thing I came up with, another fault that I found with this 458, when I was trying to tune this thing up on frequency last night on the transmit side, because upper and lower sideband was completely, utterly out to lunch. So I was adjusting the two trimmer capacitors here, down next to the crystals here, to try to line up the upper and lower sideband, to bring her up on frequency. And I noticed that when I was adjusting the trimmer down there, that the frequency would change. I don't mean like just by the trimmer itself. I mean it was a big jump in frequency regards to the tuning of it. And basically what ended up having to do is when I pressed down on the board over here, it made the frequency go up back to normal when I pressed down on the board. So there's a bad connection on the board here as well. So I'm starting to think now that there's probably a boatload of cold solder joints on the board right now. Well, in this section anyway, for sure. There's something here not right, or something's not soldered here correctly in this particular corner. Now it could be over here. When you press down, I mean the whole board kind of moves right over to this kind of section, right? But yeah, if I press down on this board, the frequency over here changes big time. So there's a bad connection somewhere. So yeah. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. 5 4 3 2 1. 1 2 1 2. This is the realistic TRC-458. The realistic TRC-458. AM upper and lower sideband bass radio from 1970s. 1, 2, 3. There she goes, dropping up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello. Audio. Audio. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Audio. 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 1, 2, 1, 2. So that is where we are with the 458 at the moment. We've got power. The transmitter kind of wants to work, but it's not quite there yet. With this 458, I've got another final put in there temporarily, and I knew you were going to walk in there.